I've been saving. I'm hoping I will still have enough in order to do the thing I actually want to do, which is, hey, can I please, pretty please, have enough to be able to get what I need? Please, don't make me have to go for a bloody... Please don't make me lose out on Himiko. That's all I want, man. Be nice to me, please. No. Cute light cone, but not what I wanted. No. 2 4 stars, okay. Ones I've already finished, so pulls back. That works. Oh. Please don't lose to yourself. Please don't lose to yourself. Please, it'd be rough. Please don't lose to yourself. Please just win, actually. Just win. Just come home. Please. Yeah! Ah, guy. Nice to me. Meaning I got lucky again. Meaning, please, for the love of God, Himiko, don't be rude when next version hits. Now I have to hope his light cone doesn't fail, because if that happens, I'm actually going to be even more depressed. Give. Claim. It's neat. I'll take it. Now. Come on, boy. No. A march. We like a march one. I didn't even use 40 pulls on the man. I don't think. That's kind of crazy. No. Character. I'll take a free pullback. No. Okay. No. Because I understand that because the character was nice, this is gonna maybe fuck me up. If it fails, though, I'm gonna be actually upset. Come on. There you are. Let's see. Please, don't. These odds are higher. Please don't screw me up. It'd be really, really rude. This isn't even 50-50, man. Please. It'd be the... Thank God. I was so concerned I was gonna get a failure. That would have actually been shit. Boy was nice. We like that. It's very funny because I was like, if I get lucky, I can get them both. And someone was just telling me, yeah, it depends on how nice the game wants to be. Yeah, it was nice. Oh, sweet. And I have more pulls. I'll also take these just cuz. Yay! Our guy was nice to me. We go with that. Now, just get these pulls in. And I think I pre-farmed as much as I realistically can beyond getting his stuff. Like, now I can go to the character. Here's our guy. I am gonna favorite him so he doesn't disappear on my ass. Here you go. But yeah, I'll look at his stuff in a second.
Death, forge this body anew.
Ah, boy. He deserves a lot better than what he's potentially gonna get. His body is like springwood. His heart is like dead ash. Yet still, a craftsman's spark clings to his fingertips. Ancient grudges flare anew. He vows to send both himself and that god over to the other shore. This body torn asunder, yet holding fast through 1,000 temperings into a blade. What answer will it forge? Let's go, man. He still remembers those early days in the zooming. Oh, let's go. Gazing up at the endless shelves of forging manuals, the armory's display of divine weapons stretching out like an endless sea. As a mayfly never sees the night, a cicada knows nothing of spring and autumn. For the first time in his life, he truly understood how small a man could be next to the ages. With such a short lifespan of his, with the short lifespan of his kind, he'd be lucky to even scratch the surface of the forging art, yet he ended up a master. Let's go, boy. He could only start from scraps. Filling the crumbling, smelting furnace with coal slag, he failed. The sword seemed flawless and sharp beyond measure, yet shattering into pieces when he flicked the blade to test it. A useless blade. Burning with shame, he hid it away. What he didn't see was his white-haired master running a finger across that broken sword, nor the thin red line of blood it left on his fingertip. Waste not the bounty of the world, but perfect it through craft. Good. He remembered the shackles he forged for the 10 Lords Commission. Nice bit of law there. Forging a blade is like tempering the soul. The real skill is making the simplest thing well. He didn't understand. If his skills were already exceptional, why did his master make him start from being an apprentice? But he never argued. He believed in the general's words, just as he believed that a true gem never stays buried for long. His fellow disciples came. The Flame Wheel Octet came. Hu Yuan came. They all watched him, labouring day and night without rest in the forge until the flames finally died out, and they laid eyes on the most fearsome shackles of their lives. The cold gleam of those manacles was muted, but their menace weighed on one like a mountain. No one could have imagined that years later the imprisoned Borisin Warhead would spend long years chained up, long years locked up in chains cut from the same cloth. It's so cool he's the one who made the thing that imprisoned Hule. That is good lore expansion. Let's go. He remembered the trial for Furnace Master, but a short-life species to be chosen as chief. He remembered the trial for Furnace Master, but for a short-life species to be chosen as the chief craftsman of the Chu Ming was unprecedented. He prepared himself well, but when the smelting began, he found that all his material had been swapped for rotten scrap. He just smiled. A day and a night later, he unveiled a delicate, ingenious mechanical lion, a creation that put any treasured forge contraption to shame. He remembered how before being granted the title Furnace Master, his master repeated the simplest of questions: what makes a blade? He'd never once hesitated in his answer. That was the peerless weapon he was meant to forge, the one that would leave every other blade in the dust. Yet, when these distant memories resurfaced, all he could hear was the mournful howls of shattered blades. He joined the Stellaron Hunters to seek the ultimate salvation. At least that's what the Hunters promised. Click, clank. Bullet casings clattered to the ground like some lonely melody. Interesting it's comparing what Kafka does still to a melody. I really do think she could be an emanator of either harmony or order, depending on how they go with it, because of Spirit Whisper, but we'll see. Oh no, I'm out of bullets. The lady raised both hands, eyes darting towards the sky. The night was silent. Then a pillar of light pierced the heavens, hurtling towards the hunter. The madman charged straight into it. The high-energy beam nearly tore him apart. Not No, clearly enough, his flesh was like rampant spring ivy, knitting itself back together in the blink of an eye. Stop testing my loyalty. If I find out your promises were nothing but lies, I'll be the first to put a blade through you. Listen to me, Bladey. As long as you don't want it, no one can make you bleed. Well, the Antimatter Legion before her eyes was torn to shreds by a dark figure. A silver mech punched what few Void Rangers remained into dust, then turned to watch helpless as one man danced alone against an army. Remember, Sam, whatever you do, don't get caught in his sword formation. Makes sense. She recalled Kafka's parting words before the mission, and now, staring at the gruesome wreckage before her, she understood what it meant to be a blade. He was the sharpest blade of the Stellaron hunters. Click, clang, the sword came down all night, so thick it nearly buried the camp hall. The silver-haired girl stepped out of the tent and found him sitting cross-legged, sword laid across his knees. Get some rest, I'll take watch tonight. No need, I'm used to it. Weirdo. She watched as snow piled up on his shoulders as if it had turned his hair white. A deep chill suddenly washed over her. She understood then. There were some people in this world who could only find a moment's peace on these barren, empty snowfields. Let's go. Chaos, darkness, the belly of the beast from the dawn of the universe seemed ready to dissolve everything. He'd fought himself numb to pain long ago. Now an invisible struggle threatened to tear his soul to shreds. Petty whispers chattered on and on inside his head, step by steps coaxing him forward towards the abyss of ruin. Why resist? I can grant you the power to reforge life and death itself, to undo all your regrets. Undo all regrets. He thought of Master Hyuan, the disappointment in his eyes. He thought of the 5 of them, once so full of promise. He thought of an ending he should have had. No, not that, never that, not once, not ever. This was nothing but escape, cowardice, surrender. Just like those years spent rotting in regret, just like this aimless, half-dead existence wandering from day to day with nothing but the wish to die. That wasn't how his script was supposed to end. Stellaron hunters exist to rewrite finality and to rewrite their own endings. Let's go, Elio caught them in on this as a trap. You know, you want to die, fine. Why not? I'll see about making you have a different life. In the finality Elio revealed, he glimpsed a sea of spider lilies scattered with bones and boundless beasts skewered through, and a furnace belching flames. Black hair turned white as snow, and the aged artisan could finally embrace death. Yet the root of immortality's calamity had already bloomed anew elsewhere. He still had the chance to change it all. Yingjing, are you really so bent on dragging us both into the abyss? All you'll gain is endless suffering, torn between... Shut up. Yingjing, are you really so bent on dragging us both into the abyss? Alexa, stop! Fucking shut up. Yingjing, are you really so bent on dragging us both into the abyss? All you'll gain is endless suffering, torn between life and death. He didn't hear Shu-Hu's frenzied roar. Instead, he heard his master's voice, his companion's voice, his voice. What makes a blade? He had once forged shackles to cage the mighty foes. Now he would forge himself into a prison. As a hunter, his sole pursuit had been the elusive release of death. Now he would take revenge on the architect of this tragedy. He felt himself cracking apart, piece by piece, shard by shard, like snowflakes torn asunder, frozen in an instant by a surge of boundless life, then sent drifting once more into the sea of suffering. Waste not the bounty of the world, but perfect it through craft. Good. With great effort he raised his head, just as he had many years ago, when he first lifted the forging hammer, striking the white-hot metal until it was sharp enough to plunge that immortal abomination into... Striking the white-hot metal until it was sharp enough to plunge that immortal abomination to unending hell. His scorching iron body couldn't shed tears. In his daze, he could almost believe he was still in the forge, blazing with blinding radiance like a divine weapon fresh from quelching. Let's go, man. He fought that lonely island of Insumasu? I could be wrong. I apologize if it is. Bristled with rustling broken swords. He wanted to go back, just once, to let those swords' cries of grief, of hatred, of sorrow, rest in peace, if only for a moment. He thought of his aging master, and the warmth born of longing and shame welled in his chest. Closing his eyes, he could almost smell the smoke and fire of the zooming, hear the endless rhythm of hammers on anvils. Once this is all over, maybe I could... He let out a long sigh. Then he turned and walked back to the hunter's camp. Mara struck. He's completely cured. At least he's no longer clamouring to skin the... Mara struck. He's completely cured. At least he's no longer clamouring to skin that little azure dragon alive. Alright, about that box Blady mentioned, he admitted that the stuff inside was a gift for us. He gently pushed the door up, frowning. Do I really need to report matters unrelated to the mission to her as well? Blady, thank you. A voice came through the phone. No need. We'll celebrate for you once everyone is back. The man paused, took a few steps, then stopped again. The item in the iron box is poorly made. If you want, I can make another. Okay, sure. The girl looked at him in surprise. Then why don't you tell her yourself? Look, talking to you just made me have to restart again. He didn't reply, but turned around and headed to the next room. Practice hard. The next time we PK, when your hand is healed, I won't go easy on you. Okay? He unfastened the shard sword and placed it by the bed. In the past, it was resentment. It was fury. It was regret. It was the embodiment of all agony. He stroked the shattered blade. What exactly constitutes a blade? What exactly constitutes a blade? Perhaps a blade is simply a blade. Nothing more. It's nice that he's, like, making gifts for people and stuff. He really does like the others. It's nice. Yeah, I'm glad I've got him home. I'll look forward to seeing him perform, but I'm gonna have to farm first. I will farm a little bit, to be fair. I've got the stuff for it, so I will. And then I'm gonna do story. I'm hoping to get the story done before too long. I'm kind of hoping it's... I don't want Amphoris levels of length, so I can at least do other stuff today on my day off, but we'll see. Hopefully you guys had good luck with getting him, and hopefully you have fun with the story. And until next time, have a good night, morning, day, whatever time it is, wherever you guys are in the world. If you wouldn't mind, I'd appreciate if you liked and subscribed, because if you liked this video, you'll like the other stuff on my channel, because it's Star Rail stuff. Take care, everyone.